So what happens when your connection to the world just goes dark? It's more than just a dropped video call. In a real emergency, losing that connection can be a huge risk. Today, we're going to build a plan for that. Think of it like a ladder of resilience with 5 simple rungs that'll get you ready for anything, from a tiny internet hiccup all the way to a total blackout. We're going to start with the problem we all face and then work our way up. First up, the 60-second fix for your home internet. Then, we'll cover the life-saving trick for finding a cell signal just about anywhere. After that, we'll turn your phone into an offline emergency toolkit, build a truly solid backup plan, and finally, we'll reveal the ultimate communication lifeline for when everything else has failed.
All right, let's get right into it with the very first rung on our ladder. This is a problem that I'm sure feels a little too familiar for most of us. But you know what? The solution is surprisingly simple.
That frozen screen, the little buffering circle just spinning and spinning. We have all been there. But before you even think about spending an hour on the phone with tech support, you've got to know the one simple fix that works over 90% of the time. I mean, it's the first thing they'll ask you to do anyway, so let's just master it right now.
Okay, this right here is the magic sequence. Unplug both of those boxes from the wall. Now, this is the most important part. You have to wait a full 60 seconds. Seriously, don't skip this. It lets all the little components inside fully reset. Then, and this is key, plug the modem in first. Wait for its lights to stop blinking and go solid. That means it's talking to the internet again. Only then do you plug in your router. Quick homework for you. Pause and take a picture of this slide. The next time you're offline, you will be so glad you did.
Now, what's so cool about this slide is that it shows you why that specific order is so important. Just think of it like this. The modem is the main gate that lets the internet into your home. The router is the system that sends it out to all your devices, like your laptop and your phone. You have to open the gate before you can send anything out, right? Understanding that one little difference is seriously the key to solving most connection problems all by yourself.
Okay, so let's climb to the next rung. Imagine this. Your Wi-Fi is down, so you grab your phone. And you see it. 0 bars. You are completely cut off. What is the single most important thing you need to know in that moment? This is a piece of information that could genuinely save a life. Even if your phone says no service, federal law requires that it has to try and connect to any available cell tower, not just your carriers, to place a 911 call. It's an amazing safety net to have. But, and this is a big but, it is not a perfect system, and what it doesn't do can be really dangerous.
And right here, this slide perfectly illustrates that critical catch. When you make a 911 call without service, 2 life-saving things just don't happen. First, your precise location is not sent to the dispatcher. And second, if your call gets dropped for any reason, they have no number to call you back on. So the absolute takeaway is this. You must be able to state your exact location the second they pick up. Make sure everyone in your family, your kids, your parents understands this. It is a vital piece of safety knowledge.
Okay, now before you have to rely on that emergency call feature, try these quick tricks to hunt down a real signal. Walls are like kryptonite for cell signals, so just moving closer to a window or stepping outside can work wonders. Signals also love a clear line of sight, so heading upstairs or to a higher ground is always a good bet. But here's the real pro tip. Toggle airplane mode on for about 10 seconds and then turn it off. This forces your phone to do a brand new scan for all the available networks, not just the last one it failed to connect to.
All right, so you've managed to find a signal. But in a big emergency, you know what happens, right? The cell networks get totally jammed. Calls just won't go through. This is where we climb to the third rung, turning your phone into a preloaded survival tool that actually works when everyone else's phone is just a useless brick. Now, what's so great about this slide is that each one of these apps solves a specific, crucial problem during an outage. The FEMA app gives you official alerts, so you can cut through all the rumors and misinformation. Zello basically turns your phone into a walkie-talkie, using just a tiny bit of data that can often sneak through when a full voice call can't. And maybe most important of all, the Red Cross First Aid and Maps.me apps work completely offline. Okay, immediate homework. Download at least 2 of these right now while you're thinking about it. Then, text a screenshot of this slide to one person you care about. Go on. As we get higher on the ladder, our mindset has to change. We're moving from just reacting to problems to proactively building a really strong backup plan. This is for those times when an outage might last for days, not hours, and staying connected is an absolute necessity for your work, your family's safety, or your health. This chart breaks down your options really nicely. Your phone's hotspot, that's your free first line of defense.
For about $20 a month, a lot of cell carriers offer a dedicated 5G backup box that just automatically kicks in when your main internet dies. And then, for the ultimate peace of mind, you've got satellite. But there's a hidden weakness in those first two options that you really need to know about.
So here's the crucial point. Both your phone's hotspot and a 5G backup device, they both rely on the same local cell towers. If a major storm or a disaster takes those towers out, well, both of your internet sources are gone. Satellite is totally different. It completely bypasses all the local stuff, connecting you directly to space. If your livelihood or your safety truly depends on being online, this is the gold standard of resilience.
We've made it. We're at the very top of the ladder now. This is the worst-case scenario. The power grid is down. Cell towers are silent. The internet is gone. Every single piece of modern communication has failed. Is there anything left?
You probably know it as ham radio, and yeah, it might seem like some kind of relic from a bygone era, but its greatest strength is its simplicity. In a world that depends on all this fragile infrastructure, ham radio's resilience is just unmatched. When everything else goes silent, a whole global community of operators powers up, ready to be that bridge to the outside world.
And this quote from Wikipedia just captures its superpower perfectly. Amateur radio doesn't need the power grid. It doesn't need cell towers. It doesn't need internet providers. An operator can literally power their gear from a car battery, string a simple wire antenna up in a tree, and create a communications network from basically nothing.
And look, this isn't just a theory. This is a proven, real-world lifeline. After 9/11, when the cell networks in New York were completely overwhelmed, it was ham operators who relayed critical messages. During Hurricane Katrina, when the entire Gulf Coast went dark, they were the voice for the first responders. And after Hurricane Maria completely erased Puerto Rico's power grid, 50 amateur radio operators were flown in with the Red Cross to build the island's emergency communication system literally from scratch. So we've climbed the ladder of resilience, all the way from the simple 60-second router reboot to the ultimate failsafe of amateur radio. Every single rung is another layer of security for you and for your family. So the final question is, how many rungs are on your ladder? And who in your life needs to see this so they can start building theirs? Share it with them. It might just be the most important connection you make all day.